Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a full face drugstore fall makeup look, and of course I'm using favorite products, holy grails, and a lot of these are like classic favorites that have been in rotation for forever. And also everything is $15 and under in today's video. I normally like to keep like that $15 or $10 sweet spot whenever I do drugstore videos. I couldn't do 10 for today's video, but we'll save that for another time. But today the lucky number is 15. But yeah, these are great products nonetheless, and I think fall makeup essentials. So grab a snack, get cozy, or grab your brushes so we can get ready together and do some fall makeup. So let's get into it. Okay, brows are done because it's boring, it's repetitive, and I use the same products literally all the time. But I'm gonna show you what I used because it is ironically all drugstore. I always use, for the most part, drugstore brow products, but this is the Oma Beauty 2-in-1 Brow Styler. And I actually today just ran out of the brow pencil, so I went through another one of these. This is like my third or fourth one. I love this. And later on I am gonna use the brow gel to set my brows, but that is what I used to outline. And then to fill in the rest of my brows, I used my e.l.f. liner and brow cream in the shade Espresso. This is basically just like a brow pomade. I wanted a little bit more of a darker brow today since the look that I'm doing is a little bit more glam, and this is perfection. It's like $4 or $5 and it's still one of my favorite brow pomades at the drugstore. And I did clean them up with a little concealer, and I'm actually going to use concealer to prime my lids today, and I'm taking the NYX Bear With Me concealer serum, and I have this one in the color Golden. I'm going to use this later on my face, but it works as a primer as well. I don't have any primers that are affordable that aren't discontinued at the drugstore. Like the two that I was going to use, they're no longer available, so concealer it is. I love this concealer though, and I just want to have a nice clean base on my lids, so concealer does the trick. And I used the tiniest dot, and look at how much concealer comes out. Like a little bit of this goes such a long way, but I love the formula because it is really hydrating. And I am going to set everything down with my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. I have this one in the shade Light Medium. I actually also went through an entire one of these powders. I love it. And I'm also going to use this later on as well. And today for eyeshadows, I'm going to use this LA Girl Keep It Playful eye palette in the shade Downplay. This is one of my favorite affordable palettes in my collection. You can get this at CVS and Ulta. And I just love the mixture of mattes, shimmers, but also I love the cool tones with the warm tones. There's a couple other variations of these palettes as well, like different shades, but this one is my favorite. The formula is so soft and buttery, like even to the touch. It's just all around such a great palette. So I'm going to start off with both of these colors and just apply them in the crease. So today we're going for like a smoky, kind of like monochromatic, like chocolate brown kind of moment, because I definitely want to do a like more darker brown lip. So I kind of want that to match the eyes as well. But yeah, I really think these palettes are underrated. They're kind of like ColourPop eyeshadows. So good. Nobody really talks about LA Girl eyeshadows, but they're amazing. LA Girl in general has really great products. It's one of my favorite brands. Then I'm going to go into that gorgeous brown bronzy shimmer shade, and I'm going to apply that on my lid. I'm using a flat shader brush because I really want to pack that color on. This one is from BK Beauty. It's the A505, and I'm going to dip my brush in here and then spray it with some setting spray. Of course, I'm using Milani Make It Last always. I do about 2 sprays. You want to dip your brush in the eyeshadow and then spray it, because if you do it first and then dip it, it's going to kind of mess up your eyeshadow like in the pan, and you don't want to do that. So dip and spray. With the shade, I'm applying it all over my lid. Just in the lid. With the brush, I kind of like to carve out my lid a little bit because I don't want to bring that color too far up. Again, these work so beautiful with your fingers. Usually once I'm done applying the eyeshadow where I want, I'll go back in with my finger just to really kind of make that pop a little bit more, because you get that full effect either with a flat shader brush or with your finger. But your fingers really are like the best tools for like shimmers or like foiled eyeshadows. I'm taking a clean blending brush and I'm just gonna very lightly blend out the edges of that eyeshadow that might have went into the crease a little bit. I'm also going to take a little bit of this Pixie liquid eyeshadow. This one is in the color Bare Brilliance. I really like these. They're so sparkly and pretty. Like, let me swatch this one for you. It's like a taupey light brown, and it has this beautiful glitter finish to it. So I'm actually going to take some of that on that brush, and I'm going to press down some of that glitter over that brown color. And I just did a little bit. I don't want to do anything crazy with the glitter. I still want this to be like a brown kind of smoky moment, but I just want to add a touch of sparkle. So I'm just taking the brush and just applying it directly from the other applicator. This color has more of like a sheen finish, so it's not super sparkly, so I like adding that pixie glitter just to like amplify it a little bit. And I'm actually just going over that brown shimmer on the other side as well, because you can still see a little bit of that glitter, but I still want this to be mostly like brown on the lid. But I just wanted a little bit of like a sparkly finish to that eyeshadow, since the brown, you can see it has a sheen, but there isn't really like any glitter or anything to it. So I just wanted a little touch of that. So when I add the glitter, I'm adding some of that, but then I'm also like going back over it with that shimmery brown. And I love liquid glitter eyeshadows as well, because there's no mess. You don't have to worry about glitter getting everywhere. You can still get that really pretty effect. And if you want these to be even more vibrant and pigmented, you can just take this and apply it directly onto your lid. But I just want a little subtle pop today. But these are beautiful. e.l.f. also has some great liquid glitter shadows that I love. They're like $6, so that's another really great option, but I love this color. Okay, going back into the palette now, I'm gonna take the darker matte brown and we are gonna apply that on the outer lid just to deepen this up a little bit. Right here in this area. This is totally optional, but I'm going to take a little bit of this black and I'm going to kind of smudge that on my outer lash line just to give it an even more smoky look, and it's really going to just contrast nicely against the brown. And to do this, I'm going to use a little pointed pencil brush. This one is a small firm eyeshadow from Profusion. All of my brushes that I use, they're like all over the place from all different brands. And I'm just going to take that black right on the outer edge. And it's gonna basically look like smudged eyeliner. And it doesn't have to be perfect, like just smudge it out and that's it. Just kind of like place the eyeshadow and then just drag it back and forth in little tiny motions. You really honestly don't need eyeliner. You can always just use your eyeshadow and mimic eyeliner. Love. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Everything that I reference nowadays is from TikTok. Okay, now for eyeliner, I'm gonna use the Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade Black Love. And I'm gonna use this later on my waterline, but for now, I'm gonna use it to tightline my upper waterline. Now I'm gonna coat my lashes with some mascara, and this is the Essence Lash Princess, but the waterproof version. I love this mascara, and I actually really like this waterproof version as well. So good. You totally also don't need false lashes with this, but I gotta be a little glam today. I think this would be really pretty too, just like this as well. And the lash of the day are these from Kiss. These are in the style Jubilee, and they're so beautiful. They're a little bit more voluminous, but not too much. I think Kiss has some beautiful lashes for so many different makeup looks, and I feel like with this kind of look, you could really do a natural lash, you could do a more bold lash. You already know Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive always. I think this is probably, this and Milani Make It Last are probably my two most repurchased longtime products in my entire collection. Like, this has been around for me since like 2015, and Milani Make It Last has been around since 2017. And yes, I remember the dates very vividly. Yes, this is like the exact lash that I wanted for this eye makeup. I love when the vision just comes together. Love. You see how they're a little bit fluffier and like more full on the outer corner? I love that look, especially today since I have a little bit of more like of that darker eyeshadow in the outer corner. It just kind of brings everything together. Now I'm gonna go back in with Milani Make It Last just to add some more moisture back to my skin. I always like to do this before any makeup look. It really makes a difference, like doing a primer spray or your setting spray before your primers and before your foundation. It's my favorite little makeup hack. I mean, I didn't come up with it, but it's a good makeup hack. I also did wipe away the fallout that I had on my face. My face feels a little bit tight, so I'm gonna use a pore filling primer and a matte foundation today. So I'm gonna just prep my skin even more because I feel like I need it, and I'm gonna use my Milani Supercharged Dewy Primer, one of my all-time favorites. I have a tiny bit left, but it's basically kind of like a lotion consistency, but it's so hydrating and it makes your skin super dewy. I'm also gonna put this like under my eyes as well. See, like that dewiness, that hydration, and this smells like a citrus moisturizer. It's bomb. One last step before foundation. I know it's so extra, but these are the little things that I feel like really go a long way in making your makeup look smooth, last all day. So I'm gonna take the NYX Pore Filler Targeting Stick. I love this. This also comes in like a regular like squeezy 2 packaging, but I like this packaging more because you can literally get in there and target wherever you have larger pores and it smooths you out. I wonder if you can see the difference. Like, it's so good. Like, do you see that? I'll do even some on my chin and then also right on my forehead. Now we are officially ready for foundation. I'm gonna go in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. I have this one in the color Medium Olive. This is one of my all-time favorite soft matte foundations. It has really good coverage and it also lasts a very long time. And whenever I do a more glam look, I like this because even though it's matte, it's not drying on my skin. I also love that this comes in 45 different shades. It's beautiful. And I feel like a good dupe for the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation, which I love, but this is a really great alternative. See how smooth it is? But it's not like a drying matte formula, but it does have a matte finish. So that's why I really like to make sure that my skin is prepped and hydrated before going in with foundations like this. But it goes on really beautifully and it just evens out your skin tone. But also covers up blemishes, scars. This is also like one of my favorites in the heat. This lasts really well through like sweating and stuff. It's just in general a very long wearing foundation. You can build it up too if you really want to like maximize your coverage. I normally just build it up on areas where I feel like I need it the most. Like right now I'm kind of breaking out on my forehead a little bit. So I'm just gonna add a little extra there. But like that looks so good. If you have very, very dry skin, maybe this might not be your favorite because it is matte. So in that case, I recommend the NYX Born to Glow foundation because that one has really great coverage with more of a glowy finish. Now I'm gonna go in with concealer and I'm gonna go back in with the Bare With Me Concealer Serum. I like the combination of this with the foundation because this is much more dewy and hydrating. So mixing the two, when you blend everything out, it just morphs together into the skin and it's the perfect combination of hydrating and matte. This also has a really nice coverage. I like this concealer even as foundation sometimes, like on my very simple makeup days. You can apply this pretty much everywhere. It's really lightweight and super creamy. But even though it's a more hydrating formula, it still provides coverage. It's not a light coverage concealer, which I personally really like. Like I said, I love something hydrating too on my under eyes. The name on this concealer is really spot on because it really feels like makeup mixed with skincare, and like you can kind of see that also when applying it. It's so good. The base is looking good. Now we're gonna add some cream contour and I'm gonna go in with the Milani Liquid Contour in the shade Honey. If you guys have not tried these, please do yourself a favor, pick it up. It's a great Charlotte Tilbury dupe. The formula and consistency I would say is not identical, but this is really nice. This is unique in its own way and it's so blendable. And I was actually kind of like, okay, this color is gonna be way too light. When I first used it, I didn't think this was gonna work, but no, it works and it's perfect. The way that this blends and the color that this does add to the skin is perfection. The undertone, the blendability, it's really nice because it adds a little bit of like that bronzy touch you can see without being too dark or muddy. It just really like morphs into your skin and it doesn't even look like there's product sitting on top of your face. Like it's just a bronzy look, but just so effortlessly. Like look at that little shadow. It's everything. I like this too because there isn't a lot of orangey undertones to this. It's more of like a brown undertone, so it really gives a really pretty like bronzy touch, especially when you build it up as well. Like you see what I mean? It's not really like orangey. I love this like brownish, very tan undertone. Okay, and today I'm actually not going to do cream blush because the powdered blushes are going to just speak for themselves and they don't really need to be layered because they're already long lasting and smooth on their own, but we'll get into that in a minute. So That's pretty much it for the complexion. We're gonna go ahead and set everything. I'm gonna start off with the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder in the shade Light. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is literally how much powder I have left. Like, the obsession is real. When I love a product, I will love it to the ground. And you will hear about it in about 20 different videos, nonstop. Wow, I'm literally like out of this powder. That's really, really satisfying. All right, I think she's donezo, like officially. I really like this too because it has like that glowy kind of factor, but it's not like glitter or like shimmer. But there's also a matte version too. So if you're not into the glow, they have a matte version of this powder, which I also think is very smooth. The finish is just a little bit different, but I always love the combination of matte and like glowy products. And then we're gonna top that off with a little NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. I've been really liking doing setting powder and then a little pressed powder right underneath. It just makes it even softer and smoother. And then we're gonna set the rest of the makeup. I also love that even after you set, you can still see that Milani liquid contour kind of peeking through a little bit. So I don't really, I mean, sometimes I will go in and add some powdered bronzer, but you don't really have to. Now I'm gonna set the rest of my makeup. Or not my makeup, my eyebrows. And I'm just gonna use, again, that Oma Beauty 2-in-1 Brow Styler. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of Milani Silky Matte Bronzer and just kind of touching up my bronzer just a little bit around the edges. And this one's in the color 03 Suntan. Now for blush, if you know, you know, one of my favorite blushes like of all time that I've loved for years, that is always in rotation, and whenever I, especially for like the fall or like when I want like a warm cheek, this is the blush. Can you guess? I'll give you a minute. Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon. Yes, it's the best. It's smooth, it's pigmented, it's long lasting. It doesn't need to be layered with like a cream blush underneath. Toasted Cinnamon is also just a classic, like I feel like a fall must have. These also come in other shades as well, some deeper colors, some lighter pinks. You used to be able to get these at Walmart. Haven't seen them at Walmart recently, but you can get them sometimes at CVS and Rite Aid. It's a little bit of a hit or miss sometimes finding these, but I'm telling you, this is such a nice formula. This is also a talc-free formula because Burt's Bees is like a natural makeup brand. Also love the color Bare Peach. So I think today I'm probably gonna mix both of these because I definitely want like a warmer cheek today. So I'm gonna start with Toasted Cinnamon. I feel like online these colors are so deceiving, but like in person or when you put them on, it's actually so beautiful. Look at that warm cheek. I love it. Love this formula too. It lasts all day. It's so good. It's too good. And then I'm gonna top that off with a little bit of Bare Peach. Okay, and this is a newer product. We're gonna add a little bit of highlighter, just a little bit. And this is a liquid highlighter from Milani in the shade Lunar. Another good Charlotte Tilbury dupe. I'm gonna just start off with about that much, and then I'm gonna blend that out with my finger. This is kind of like you're glowing from within. It's not really glittery at all. It's just glowy and beautiful. And I like to just blend it out with my finger. And you can use this under powder and over powder. I think that's pretty much it for the face. Of course, we're gonna do the lower lashes, which I guess let's do that now really quick and kind of get that out of the way because the lip color is so good. We need a moment for the lip color. But I'm gonna take the, again, Essence eye pencil that I was using earlier, and I'm gonna line my waterline. I'm gonna take some of this brown, a little bit of that warmer brown, and I'm just gonna smudge this out a little bit. Now for the lips, I'm just gonna mute them out with the leftover foundation on my foundation brush. For lip liner, I'm gonna go in with the LA Girl Shockwave Nude Lip Liners. I pretty much love all of the colors that these come in. They have a variety of lighter shades, like lighter browns, some pinkies, and then this is one of the darker colors in the shade Chai Latte. Then I'm gonna top that off with Milani Color Fetish Matte Lipstick. Of course, this one is in Desire. It's one of the darker, kind of like a 90s brown. Like, come on, so perfect. The time to get these Color Fetish matte lipsticks is now, especially for fall. No makeup look is complete without setting your face into place. I never want to take this makeup off. Like, I'm in love with the way this turned out, and this is definitely like top 5 favorite drugstore makeup looks that I've done. And I know I say that a lot, but like for real, I love this look. And I'm definitely going to be recreating this look myself because I feel like it's going to look so good with so many different fits this season. And these products are just too good. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you can't look good with drugstore or affordable makeup. It's all about you, your technique, and your tools. So try this look out, recreate it. And as always, everything that I use will be linked down below if you guys are interested. And that is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!